Alright, after a series of trial and error, we have successfully installed again K3D and run a sample application. Fortunately, we're supposed to have this in a clean setup, and then it took me 2 hours to figure out everything, and then now I'll just summarize what I did to you. Alright, so first, because I clean up my Windows application, everything is clean. So to deploy K3D so that you can study Kubernetes, you need to have Docker Desktop or Docker. Then you will install the K3D using PowerShell. We don't want to use WSL because WSL is just karate. The PowerShell is a handgun or assault rifle, right? So assault rifle, we'll use assault rifle than karate kids, okay? So you download this from here, K3D. So you will download the exe file. You rename the exe file to k3d.exe. Include it, the path to the Windows environment variables. And then you will install K9s. Download it from here. Unzip the downloaded file, and then include it in the environment variables. Then you're going to check the cluster, K3D cluster list, so to check what are the currently running clusters. So here, let me check. So our current cluster is this one because we created one after that here because yeah, we have this executed earlier already. And so to get the context, you'll get the context. After you created a cluster, you will also have a context. So your context will be saved in your user here in cube. It will create a .cube folder in your Windows user, and then it will save the config there after you created a cluster, I believe so. Yeah, so after that, yeah, here you create the cluster. So to create the cluster using K3D, yeah, we executed this instead of this. We will remove this. We want to execute this. So we created a cluster. This is the cluster name, and then we're going to create a registry so that we can push our images to this locally to our K3D registry. So we will create that along with this, well, along with the cluster, and also we're going to set up the network here to create the. I believe if you set the network here, it will automatically create a network. But yeah, I created a network for that here. Where is it? Create the network, network. Okay, so network, create a network. So we created a network. So after that, after creating the network, we set up the network tool along with the creation of the cluster. Alright, so you check the cluster again, list of the clusters if it's already created, and to delete the cluster, this is the command to delete the cluster. To check what is the user to your cluster, you just execute this, and then yeah, get all the users. Create the context, you don't have to. After creating the cluster, you will have a context, and then here is just creating a sample application. We use the Angular, we build the Angular, we this is just to test if our application, if our Docker file is working. So after executing that our Docker file is testing that our Docker file is working properly as expected, we can run it. We then yeah, tag that for K3D registry. So we tag that, put in the K3D registry, This is the registry tree that we created here, K3D registry. Um, yeah, and then push that to the K3D local registry, and after that we installed Helm using the winget install Helm, and then yeah, this is just a part of the network, and then we generate the Helm chart. To generate the Helm chart, we executed the where is it? Yeah, this one. So this one, we don't need this anymore. This is what took me 2 hours to investigate. But then, yeah, we create the Helm chart, install the Helm chart, and then describe the Helm chart. Describe the service, and you get the service. Put this one here to port forward the service 4200 to the cluster IP um, inside your Kubernetes. I'm not sure if that makes sense. But the reason why we still need to port forward is because we're using cluster IP. There are other options. There are you can use ingress. You can use what else? So this one is just a cluster IP, and there are other options how to serve um, your application without port forwarding like this here. But that is for the next videos. Alright, so the reason why it took me a while to investigate earlier is because when I created the cluster, the context that it generated here, um, this doesn't look like this. It was like that, but then yeah, I just changed it to localhost, then it's still HTTPS, and that fixed it. I was then able to install the Helm chart successfully. Right, so yeah, I think that's it. So if you can see here, this is working. Oops, why is it not working anymore? What happened? Baby, come back. Alright, there you go. I'm not sure why it died. There you go. So to see if that is really working, we can update this. Okay, so right, K3D mastery. Right, K3D mastery. We will then uh, right. So we're going to rebuild. Build. Right. So this one, build that. Instead of test one, we're going to use 0.0.2 current directory. Then copy that and then put that here. Oops. So instead of test, we're now using 002. Right, so let's see. Once that is finished, once we finish, this will be available in the Docker images, and then we're going to use this here like that. We're going to tag this into this, and tag that here, and then push that to our registry. Right? Okay, so it's done. Let's see, Docker images, subweb. So this one here, this is what we want to deploy. Right, tag. Oops. Oops. Tag that baby girl, and then push that. Then after you pushed it, we will then update our Helm chart to use the chart, no, the values. So change this to 0.0.2, and we are going to, instead of install, we're going to update. Alright, so help me give me code to update the chart, the application, instead of installing. I think it's update. Yeah, upgrade. Yeah, I think it's upgrade. Okay. Alright, so let's change that to upgrade. Alright. Right, so upgrade. Not there. Here. Upgrade. Right, upgrade. And let's see if it worked. It died. So let's port forward again if the port forward fixes it. Yeah, there you go. K3D mastery. Alright, so that's it. And I'm going to sleep. Alright, cool, thanks. Bye bye.